Okay, you know what grinds my gears? People saying that Anderson Silva beat tomato cans. Gosh, that pisses me off so much. You can see that he doesn't have the best resume, but tomato cans, you guys don't know ball, don't know what you're talking about. Why is it that this bullshit narrative propaganda is only propagated by guys who haven't watched UFC during the Silva era and only after and are back projecting? Because everyone I talk to who's watched UFC since the Silva era and before do not propagate this propaganda. It's only you guys who haven't watched UFC since the Silva era that have this bullshit, unadulterated propaganda. Because no one who's watched UFC since the Silva era calls his opponents tomato cans. Come on, guys. Okay, look at the tomato can Rich Franklin. A guy who's only lost to Lyoto Machida, a champion with 2 defenses, beat Ken Shamrock, a very good Ken Shamrock, beat Evan Tanner, the same guy who submitted Robbie Lawler, and beat Dave Terrell, beat Nate Corey, Nate Marquardt, Yushin Okami, knocked out Chuck Liddell. This is your tomato can? Come on, guys. A champ with 2 defenses is not a tomato can. You kidding me? Vitor Belfort, the same guy who would go on to challenge for the belt twice after Silva, John Jones and Chris Weidman, and the same guy who became a champion once. That's your tomato can? Come on, guys. Dan Henderson, a world-class wrestler, something that the new gen rarely has nowadays, because nowadays the wrestlers are what? College level? A guy who fought for the belt against Rampage Jackson and lost, and then fought Silva, then goes on to knock out Michael Bisping, then knocks out Fedor Emelianenko, has a war against Shogun. How is Dan Henderson a tomato can? A world-class athlete, former Pride champion, which was arguably one of the best promotions comparable to UFC that time. I would have did at Strikeforce, and then knocking out Bisping, beating Rich Franklin. That's your tomato can? And let's not forget Forrest Griffin, the guy who upset Shogun Rua, the guy who beat Rampage, and Silva moves up to 205 to dispatch of him so quickly. Yes, he came off a loss against Rashad Evans, who TKO'd him, but Silva did it much faster than Evans did, because he looked good against Evans till he got finished. But Silva made quick work of him. It shows you how good Silva was. Then, let's look at his best win in my opinion, Damian Maia, a consistent title challenger. Beat Masvidal, beat Neil Magny, destroyed and dispatched of Chael Sonnen. And after losing to Silva, a consistent top 5 to top 10 UFC fighter, and then went on to challenge Tyron Woodley for the belt. That's your tomato can? Anyways, long story short, you can say that Silva doesn't have the best resume, but tomato cans pisses the crap out of me. It is so pathetic, and there's a reason why nobody who's watched UFC since the Silva era propagates that propaganda and narrative. Only guys who've watched UFC after the Silva era propagate that propaganda. So stop calling Silva's opponents tomato cans, because if you want to make fun of the old gen, I'll make fun of your new gen. Play dirty, I play 10 times dirty. Come on, guys. Get a reality check.